Welcome to the HC Company's presentation on branded growing containers. In this presentation, we'll discuss why differentiating is important for any sales growth strategy, how and why an organization's branding influences overall purchasing habits, and the impact branded growing containers can have on increasing consumer confidence at the point of sale. Many organizations often struggle to embrace and understand just how invaluable their brand is in today's competitive marketplace. But if the pandemic has taught us anything, it's the importance of differentiation, especially given the continued explosion of gardening as a hobby across America. Garden Media Group reports that the garden industry gained some 18 to 24 million new gardeners in calendar year 2020, and experts are predicting that 80% of that group will return to the soil in 2021 in some capacity. With demand never higher for plants and other garden essentials, combined with a more novice audience craving information and education, supporting your brand has never been more important than it is today. BrandingMag.com states that branding helps to identify a product and distinguish it from other products and services. But for growers, branding is often an afterthought. Daily challenges surrounding labor, regulations, pests, and diseases, as well as the environment, are heavy and unpredictable burdens placed on the shoulders of growers, both large and small, which doesn't leave a great deal of time for creating, maintaining, and leveraging one's brand. But if the trees, ornamental shrubs, and plants growers cultivate for both commercial and residential consumption are predictably offered in black plastic containers, just as every other grower you're competing with, you've done little to distinguish yourself in the market or to establish, and more importantly, to support your brand. This lack of differentiation identifies a business as a commodity in the eyes of consumers. Business writer Eric Banks states that many industries sell products that are essentially identical to those sold by competitors. He goes on to say that these products are commodities that are interchangeable with products from other companies and compete for customers mainly on price. An industry is not commodity-based simply because companies within the industry buy commodity-type raw materials such as oil, steel, or rubber. Rather, the ability to differentiate products from those of competitors defines whether the industry is commodity-based. For a commodity grower, brand loyalty is almost impossible to achieve when customers continuously shop around garden centers and retail nurseries for the best available prices from a plethora of options, all selling in the same black plastic container. With profit margins already tight, the grower must achieve economies of scale, which are advantages reaped by companies when production becomes efficient, and keep costs low in what oftentimes can be a brutal market to compete in, especially today. Before we dive further into the subject of branding and branded containers, it's important to understand the overall psychology of consumers. From brandingmag.com, branding is important because not only is it what makes a memorable impression on consumers, but it allows your customers and clients to know what to expect from your company. It is a way of distinguishing yourself from the competitors and clarifying what it is you offer that makes you the better choice. Your brand is built to be a true representation of who you are as a business and how you wish to be perceived. How you wish to be perceived is a powerful part of building a strong brand in any business. A post on adage.com states, with all the evidence on the side of the product school of thought, how can anyone believe the brand is more important than the product? The key insight is perception. There are no facts. Everything is perception. There are no superior products. There are only superior perceptions in consumers' minds. It's important to understand the psychology of consumers concerning branding. In short, customers of today are more sophisticated and demanding. Simply offering your plant materials in black plastic containers does not help you stand out in a crowded market or command a greater perceived value at the time of purchase. Additionally, a subpar plant offered in a colorful pot with little brand equity will do little to increase the consumer's perceived value. While online shopping now dominates the retail marketplace, and giants like Amazon are selling live plant goods to the younger generation, who prefers to do all their shopping over the internet, it's important to understand how customers shop at brick and mortar locations when it comes to outdoor plants. According to the National Gardening Survey report, here are the top 5 retailer segments when consumers shop for outdoor plants: home centers and hardware stores, lawn and garden centers, mass merchandisers, supermarkets, and internet retailers. It's important to note that online retailers came in last on this list. When purchasing trees, ornamental shrubs, and plants, customers want to see and touch the merchandise before making a purchase, which can't be done with internet retailers. Adding plant materials to an outdoor landscape is a very personal and emotional process, which is why garden centers and retail nurseries can still successfully draw in customers in droves. Overall, it's easier to be brand loyal to a physical location, and local garden centers and retail nurseries see some of the highest repeat business and customer loyalty from those who appreciate their varied, zone-appropriate assortment, product knowledge, and consistent customer service. Now that you understand why consumers gravitate to brick and mortar garden centers and retail nurseries, it's important to note that customers don't have the time or energy once a busy weekend arrives to weigh the advantages and disadvantages of one plant over another. Because of this, they often utilize a common shortcut customers use across the board to help make decisions in a timelier manner: the influence of your product's packaging. 72% of American consumers say their purchasing decision is influenced by the packaging design they see. The container your plant is grown in, packaged, how your brand is presented, helps subliminally communicate to consumers that your product, that your brand is different and of greater quality. An article on Inc.com by Joshua Conrad states, "Remember, your product's packaging is meant to communicate a purpose, what your brand stands for, and what it means for your customer. Don't miss this opportunity to create lasting impressions on the shelf and in the minds of your customers." In a recent study by Nielsen Consumer Insights, a trusted data and insight organization with more than 90 years of experience, it was revealed that consumers' willingness to try new brands is on the rise. 46% of global consumers say they are more likely to try new brands than they have ever tried before, even compared to just 5 years ago. The reason is simply that the advent of the internet has provided more choices than ever before for buyers searching for products to fit their individual needs. For growers, the reason boils down to a lack of branding, as plants are grouped with a sea of other black plastic containers, with the only differentiating factor being price and color assortment of the plant. Yet that willingness to try new brands does not necessarily mean that brand loyalty is dead in the market today. According to a report by Marketing Land, some 90% of respondents consider themselves equally or more brand loyal than they were just a year ago. The predominant reason given was product quality. When asked, what is the primary reason you are loyal to a brand, the response given by 55% of respondents was, "I love the products." Here, we share a list of reasons why some customers tend to be brand loyal in their purchasing. Brands tend to provide peace of mind, especially if they provide consistent results and a positive experience, allowing customers to conclude the brand is trustworthy. Brands save time when deciding by reducing the clutter and helping you find what you're looking for in a crowded field. Brands offer safety by eliminating your chances of being disappointed. Brands offer a reason to share by allowing customers to become brand advocates based on a consistent, positive brand experience. Brand loyalty often evokes memories and emotions, which are directly tied to quality. When a customer trusts a brand, that brand undoubtedly builds loyalty. And when a customer is loyal, they buy more and recommend your products. Custom branded containers matter to help promote a grower's brand while increasing sales. They are the most impactful marketing differentiator for your business. Branded containers can have a colorful design that supports your branding standards and often influences customer purchases with a perception that your products are far superior to others on the market for an increased perceived value. Branded containers further support and expand the reach of your brand when seen out in the community as residential homeowners adorn front yards and decorative planters or commercial properties line walkways and perimeters. Furthermore, they afford an opportunity to provide education and information directly on the container, solidifying your brand's stance as an industry expert. And today, more than ever, those 18 to 24 million new gardeners are desperate for more plant knowledge directly on the plants they buy. According to a survey conducted by the Home Garden Panel of Metrolina Greenhouses, 90% of consumers of both independent and big box retail stores reference plants tags while shopping, and this was true for both younger and older shoppers alike. Additionally, plant tags were the #1 resource for information education, with 70% of shoppers preferring plant tags versus just 70% who preferred using their handheld devices and 10% who asked a nearby associate. Branding consultant and author Alina Wheeler once said, brand identity fuels recognition, amplifies differentiation, and makes big ideas and meaning accessible. Brands are messengers of trust. Customers are reassured by brands that are recognizable and familiar. A great brand strategy is a basic building block of a good business strategy, she says. We build industry-leading brands with coherent and authentic messages. We utilize cohesive branding tools, connecting with your customers in a clear and impactful way. It's time for growers to prioritize their brand and differentiate themselves in the market. Branded containers can be a cost-effective and impactful way to accomplish just that, especially given there's no shortage of customers willing to make a purchase. A few final thoughts about branded containers. Colorful packaging design influences customer purchasing, creates a perceived value over the competition, is an opportunity to provide invaluable information directly onto the container, and expands and supports the reach of your brand. HC supports some of the top branded plant programs in the industry, or we can help you create your own. Custom design services are available, and all 4-color printing is done in-house at HC's facility. For more information on branded containers from HC, we ask that you contact Chris Soltis. Thank you for your time, and if you have any questions, again, just reach out to Chris at the information provided on this screen. Have a wonderful day.